it doesn't seem to be ending soon, so we just don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's really playing it by ear.
It is, yeah. How about what part of Australia are you from?
I'm from Queensland, so
Yeah,
we've actually been really lucky up here. We have had maybe like 3 weeks of, oh gosh, less than that. Yeah, maybe 3 weeks of lockdown
yeah,
all
yeah,
up.
yeah.
So it's pretty much business as usual here. So yeah, we're really, really for look, being on an island
Yeah.
helps, having a smaller population, being able to close our borders for the states, like all of that helps. And people took it seriously here, so that always helps too.
Definitely helps. So, um, what time is it where you are right now?
It is 9 a.m.
Oh, wow, nice and early.
What about for you?
It is 11 p.m. So,
Right. Well, thank you for doing it so late.
no, it's absolutely fine. In a way, I kind of like my interviews kind of quite late because it kind of it's not that hectic like
Uh-huh.
it is in the
Yes.
day. But it's
Yeah.
funny. I interviewed Julio not
Oh,
long ago,
really?
and it was
Oh,
11
wonderful.
p.m. as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So I've obviously known you from Gabriel's Inferno, and you you are absolutely fantastic
Thank you so
actress.
much.
But what I'm going to talk about is your journey. So how did you get into acting first?
Oh, well, I was when I left school, I was like I always sort of enjoyed doing like a little bit of acting stuff in school, but I was never going to do that. I thought it was for very, very beautiful and very, very deluded people, and I thought I was much too smart and practical for that. So I went and started studying something else, and it was grating on my soul. And I deferred from that course, and it was actually my parents who sat me down and said, "Look, you really love acting. You can do anything later. You should give this a go now." And there was one course left open, kind of in the country, and I applied and I got in. And after that, I went straight into doing a lot of theatre. So
Mm,
a lot of big classics. I
yeah,
played Juliet and Romeo and Juliet and Eliza Doolittle in Pygmalion
yeah.
and lots of stage work. And then I had to start saying no to that
Mm,
so I could actually be free for film because, as you know, theatre takes that huge blocks of time.
mm,
And then, yeah, then I started transitioning into films and got very organically a US manager and then started working over in the States. And then, yeah, then started doing voiceover stuff and also everything in my journeys, you know, worked very, very hard, but everything sort of opened up one step at
mm.
a time very organically for me. So it kind of was always the feeling that I was on the right path
Yeah,
because, it felt like you're in the flow of the direction that you should be heading in. Because
yeah,
the opposite feeling when you're like you keep banging your head up against a wall and you're like, is this what I should be doing or the relationship I should be in or whatever, because you can feel like it's not, you know, it's like the universe isn't conspiring for this direction. But I always felt like that was sort of happening. So I did that and then got into voiceovers. And there's a wonderful cartoon I voice in called Bluey, which is on Disney. And
oh wow,
um, it's actually currently the most watched show in Australia. So
that's
it's
amazing.
really so beautiful and it's had a huge social impact as well. So many parents, particularly fathers, say it's changed the way they're parenting. It's really very beautiful, very centered around creative play and just gorgeous. So that side of things. And then once again, the Gabriel's Inferno happened very organically,
Yeah.
very out of the blue. They were looking, obviously, when something's based on a book, having someone who looks and energetically feels
Yeah.
like the character is so
Yeah.
important. Um, so I think they were looking very specifically for someone, and then out of the blue, my manager's like, "Oh, the director of this film wants to have a Skype with you." I was like, "I've got no idea what this is," and then I read the script and we had a chat, and I fell in love with Tosca because she's so brilliant.
Yeah.
And yeah, the rest is history.
So, when you started acting, did you ever have a point where you thought, you know what, I'm actually really good at this? And if so, when was it?
Um, I don't know if I ever had a point where I went, I'm really good at this. I definitely had points when I went, I love this.
Yeah.
Um, I think it was a cumulative thing when,
Mm.
when I went straight into work out of university, and I was just so grateful. I was like, because I was never going to be an actor, and I never had ideas of, I never wanted to be, you know, go, I'm famous or anything like that. That was never an interest. I love telling stories and I love being part of stories. That's what's important to me. And
Mm.
so things that happened, I was just like, oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And until I got to the point where I was like, oh no, I work really hard. And that's why the work is still
Yeah.
coming. And I so I don't know if there was ever a point I went, oh, I'm really good at this. I still don't feel like that. I still feel like
Mm.
I'm learning and finding things and searching in the dark. And I think whenever you hit a level, then it's like an onion. You peel that level, and then the next layer is there of
Yeah.
stuff you need to work on, and the next place you want to be at, and the next goal or level of your work you want to unlock. So I don't know if I ever feel like that. I still struggle watching myself. I love the work, hate watching myself. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah. I think when I think of Australian actors, I feel a lot of the Aussie actors go through the rite of passage, whether it's through Neighbours and Home and Away. But it seems like you've avoided that. Is that right?
Yeah. I think because my early career was so theatre heavy, and
Mm.
that was sort of where my passion started. I think the love of the words was really what got me with theatre,
Yeah.
because and I guess film and TV is changing more in that direction. But when you think how long someone takes to write a play, and also you're doing these texts that were written by people hundreds of years ago. There's for me, there's something so much, like I love Shakespeare. I love, these wonderful writers in both novels and playwrights. So I think it was the language that attracted me
Mm.
originally. So I wouldn't say Neighbours or Home and Away have quite the same prose. But in saying that, those places are like, the reason there is that rite of passage is it's
Mm.
like rec theatre in a way. You're constantly there, you're working on set all the time, and you do build this sort of like foundation of knowing that craft. And for me,
Mm.
that was actually a big jump, and that was a big searching in the dark. So I think a lot of those, and you're working really hard, you're shooting really fast. So I think people who have come through those channels, I think it's quite admirable that those people work real hard and real
Mm.
fast, and I think it does lay a foundation for those actors.
Yeah. So were you a Neighbours or Home and Away girl?
I okay, I'm going to admit something. I have never watched either show.
I'm surprised.
Well, I didn't watch a lot of TV as a kid. My
Yeah.
parents were kind of anti
Yeah.
TV. Like, I'm one of six, so it was more we were all playing together. Look, and I think when you look at a lot of people who end up quite creative, TV when they were young, someone like Donald Glover, no TV. There is a level of creativity and play that you have to do creating yourself, but no, I've never watched either show. How about you? Were you a Neighbours or Home and Away?
I was a Home and Away girl, definitely.
And what distinguish is it? Because there's more at the beach there. Tell me the difference. So there's Summer Bay and there's what's Neighbours? Ramsay Street?
Yeah.
I know that.
Exactly. I think it's that you just get hooked on one. But I think, well, I haven't watched it for years and years now, but it does remind me of childhood for sure.
Yes, of course. And it's like, I guess with those shows that are on every day, you get, it's like you're traveling with them.
Yeah.
Because you're with this, like, this ensemble of characters.
Yeah.
And I think in school those things are a bonding thing as well, which I didn't have, but that's all right.
So do you, I'm assuming yes, but do you know a lot of the Australian actors who are now in LA?
Oh yes, there are many from those, but just so many Australian actors in general. There's like an Australian actor mafia in LA. You can't go anywhere, particularly in West Hollywood, without running into an Australian. So
it's so nice though, because
it is lovely. But I actually have a lot of friends over there who are American and not Australian. Of course, I've got beautiful Australian friends over there, but it's really lovely to have locals like that I've met through classes or that I've worked with and who've become these, such dear friends. And so it's like having a second home with an American cohort, which is really lovely.
Yeah. Well, you're the second Aussie celeb I'm talking to. The first one was Guy Sebastian.
Oh, no way! Oh, he seems like a lovely human.
I didn't interview him, but I think it needs to be done. But he sent me this. He sent me like a message because he knew that I was a fan. So years ago, I got into kind of randomly watching X Factor Australia on YouTube.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah. So that's my link with Australia, and now you.
I love it.
Yeah. So, working with Julio, what was the best thing?
Oh, look, he's such a joy to work with. We actually instantly clicked. I was terrified because we didn't chemistry test. For a romance film, which I think is insane, but it's really testament to Tosca's gut on these things. She knows, she's just so clear. So I was like,
so what did that involve, the test?
Oh, we didn't.
Oh,
we didn't.
Sorry. Yeah.
Which is just like wild for a romance. But Julia and I Skyped and we instantly got on, and which, can you imagine how bad that would be if we didn't? That would just be like the worst.
Yeah.
But we got on really well, and we're really similar in that we're so committed to the work. We're both super diligent. We're both curious about characters and script and our arcs and journey together. He's also someone who's so present when you're working with him. He's so there with you in the moment. So, of course, as an actor, that was just so wonderful to have someone who just as committed as you are. But then he's just also really fun and funny and, kind